Hello everybody and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for all things Project Zomboid, and this week, to Russia with love. For those who are curious, yes, I missed last Mondoid. I apologize. The reason I missed it is because I was prepping for PAX East. A whole fuck ton of prep for PAX East. But I'm back. And it's a Mondoid I can't really do too much talking about outside of some stuff that we discussed. But this is toward our Russian players and viewers. So if you're Russian, I won't be speaking any Russian, I'm sorry, but some of the titles here are in Russian, so check it out, projectzomboid.com. But first, let's talk about the important stuff, then we'll break down what exactly is going on in the blog, and then I'll wrap up this video because, hey, there's really not much to talk about. So, first and foremost, build 31 is in the I will back up my save branch file. I think it has been for a couple of days. It is there now. If you want to know how to get into that, you can come to projectzomboid.com, click on this link, and it should bring you to where you need to go. Yeah, all right, that's exactly what that is. So check it out. Build 31 comes with a bunch of cool stuff and bug fixes and all kinds of good stuff. So make sure you come play Build 31. You can get the full list at the forums as to what's changed, what's been added, what's been taken out, all that good stuff on the forums of projectzomboid.com. And then, well, then we've got a lot of Q&A. So what does this Q&A break down to? With Q&As, I would, again, highly suggest you come read it yourself. The reason for that is it's very, very, very long. But there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. Basically, what's happening, what's being added, this, that, and the other. And they're all questions from the Russian players and the Russian community, which is awesome. And they're developers asking an answer, or rather, the developers are answering the questions that are being asked. So anything really big that you should talk about, that we should really talk about? Well, nothing that hasn't already been addressed in the past or asked before, but some good stuff worth reiterating. One of the most important things is it looks like the Great Crafting Overhaul is coming in Build 32, which is the next build. With the Great Crafting Overhaul is going to be generators, which is something people have been asking for a long time. So Build 32 is generators, motherfuckers. That's awesome. To the point where I will probably put more time into Project Zomboid and Build 32. I don't know if I'll be doing any playing in Build 31, but Build 32, I'll definitely check it out. Will there be videos? Who knows? I don't know if there's going to be good enough, or not good enough, but different enough for me to do videos on. But Build 32 is something I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. They also talk about more clothing that are going to have stats on them, actually, which is going to help prevent getting scratches and bites and stuff. So if you wear like a leather jacket, you're a lot less apt to get bitten or scratched from a zombie, so that's going to be great too. It reminds me a little bit, I don't know why, but of like Fallout, where you find clothing that has armor stats. Obviously, it'll be a bit more in-depth than that, but it's good to know that there's going to be clothing that are going to have stats on them. I'm curious if certain clothing will give you better protection, like a big, thick jacket, but it'll slow you down and make you a little bit slower to run. I don't know if we'll go that deep, but that's pretty freaking awesome, and I'm looking forward to diving in. They do talk a little bit about swimming here as well. Will there be swimming? They say they will think about it, but it's not exactly something they're worried about right now. If swimming comes along, it'll be in the future. But they can give us their assurances. They're going to think about it, but no assurances other than that. Obviously, other ways to keep warm are in the process of being done. So, you know, burning stuff, essentially. Will there be any electro generators? We did talk about that already. I'm just trying to skim through this for you guys real quickly. Let's see. Oh, another thing that we've known about for a while, at least have discussed for a while, is the idea of drugs and addiction, which is something they definitely want to do. But they're not entirely sure that they're going to do it for the micromanagement of the player. Again, there has to be a line between realism and game, and if you're doing too much realistic stuff, it's too much stuff for the player to micromanage. So, you know, your character being addicted just becomes a stat, and now you have to pay attention to that. And you're already paying attention to a lot of stuff in Project Zomboid as it is. To add more would make it difficult, at least for me. But they are thinking about it. It's something they've been thinking about for a very long time in the game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe later in the future, if the devs don't do it, a mod that does it. And that's the great thing about these indie games, right? You can mod the shit out of them to do stuff that you like if they don't have stuff already that's been developed and so on. What else we got over here? Will we be able to create proper window frames for our handmade houses? They will be introducing a lot more specific stuff in Build 32. They don't really talk too much about it, but crafting glass windows might be a bit too much. Makes sense. It's a lot to go off of. But then again, perhaps you can find some windows already in place and move them to your own window frame. That's a potential. So that's good. So there's a nice medium there. So instead of crafting glass, you could go take a, maybe you have a broken window in your house. If you're high enough in carpentry, you can remove that window, go get a good window from a house, rip it out of the wall essentially, and go put it in your house. That's cool. I like that. That's a nice medium there. Will we ever see traps implemented? Bear traps, landmines, blah, blah, blah. And they said that's also planned for Build 32. We still need to think about them. But yes, pipe bombs, remote control traps, wolf ear traps, all kinds of good stuff. Wait, what? The team thinks that the weird Frenchman, because RJ's answering, means bear trap when he says wolf ear traps. Bear traps is what he meant. And spike traps have all been mentioned internally. So that's good. It's going to be part of Build 32. Can make a lot of fun, maybe playing multiplayer, catching somebody in a bear trap or something. Can we expect an engineering skill added? Also planned for Build 32. So yeah, that's kind of like the general overview. Again, way more detailed if you read it yourself. I'll wrap up there. The last thing I want to talk about is, I can't believe it, but 4 years ago, today, they released, Lemmy and Bakey uploaded the very first ever video of Project Zomboid, with the hope of acquiring some kind of funding to develop the game. So if you guys want to come back and see just what Project Zomboid was 4 years ago, before it was even playable, and just like, hey, this is what we're doing, help us out, you should come check this out, man. It is, I watched most of it. I remember it, and back in the day, this is what got me excited for the game initially, so come watch this. It's worth your eyeballs kind of taking in that information. That's going to be it. Thank you so much for coming by for this Mondoid. If you're a once-a-weeker, I will see you next week. If you're a regular, I will see you later today. And as always, I will see all of you next time. Bye-bye.